What's up, Podcast Nation? Nick Overby here, your lovely, handsome, and now everly bald host of the New Agent Podcast. I am joined tonight by a badass young new agent who, by the way, just hit his 100K.
Thank you.
And how many weeks?
9.
Well done, sir.
Appreciate it.
Chandler Weeks. Sorry, I don't mean to call you Bing. Chandler
fine.
Weeks here, folks. So Chandler is a new agent here in the den. I guess you've been here for like 2-3 months, 3 months, 4 months. I don't know.
Yeah, like 2.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
How you liking it?
It's good. I'm learning a lot from being sheltered. Feels like my whole life.
I mean, good thing you're smart.
Somewhat, some would say. Depends. Depends on the day.
No, I mean you tackle pretty much every day as a smart kid.
Yeah, just a lot of stupid questions. That's what.
I mean, I'd rather you ask stupid questions than not ask them at all.
Eventually, I'm going to be smarter than everyone.
100%.
Eventually.
Than everybody?
Not everybody, but
fair enough.
Well,
so like I mentioned before we started, man, this is cool. I've kind of in my head been postponing doing I guess a year anniversary podcast, and so the 12th of this month, August 12th, was the day that I started or I was appointed, and the day that I started the podcast.
Oh, you started the podcast the day you were appointed to?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
funny. I was at my mom's house and I was all excited.
In the purple room?
Yes, in the purple room. And I had a couple of beers and I was like, you know what? I'm going to document this whole thing week after week. And I've done it week after week.
Wow.
Since I started. Because for me, I think I've told you when you got here that I never expected to be in health insurance and sales. Yes. Health insurance. No. And just by the universe and friends, I got here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt like for me, it was important to document something new, a new journey. And I mean, we're 2021, it was also kind of a tool for business.
Yeah.
And it's just turned it into something completely different where agents like yourself who are new to the business and especially new to the den, right, have an opportunity to share your story, share what you've learned, give an honest opinion about the situation, because I mean,
that's true.
This is going to be good because you're unique in the sense that you've never done anything like this ever.
Nothing. I don't even think I've technically had a real job. Like, yeah, growing up in high school, I had like summer jobs where I was a camp counselor, but like a real job, this is my first and job.
And to go into a commission only job in health insurance. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I never thought I would end up in health insurance. Before this, I didn't even know what a deductible was. I remember growing up, my mom being like, oh, we've already hit our deductible this year. Like, anything else you want? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, oh, basically everything else after now is free. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. But
and my mom was in healthcare and I still had no idea what it was. Really, I mean, in corporate world, I learned a little bit more. So wait, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay. Let's start back to you were born where?
Houston, Texas.
Really?
Yeah, I was born. I was born in Houston out of a hospital called Champions Hospital that doesn't even exist anymore. Apparently,
is that north. That would be
it's north.
Like north east or northwest. Like
it's in the
Tomball
Champions area.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been back.
So sorry, this was buzzing.
You're fine. Our family moved 2 weeks after I was born to Dallas, to the Plano area.
That's crazy.
So I was born in Houston, but I think I went through Houston once on a flight. That's it. I've never been back.
So it's funny you say that. I actually used to run restaurants in the Champion Forest
really?
area. Yeah, 1960 and Champions Highway. And
I thought you were saying in 1960.
Yes, okay. Chandler. All right, so butt of the joke. Oh, by the way, I don't really look at the camera a whole lot.
Yeah, I got you. It's a conversation.
Yeah. Butt of the joke here is that I'm the old fucking man because I do have 14 years on Chandler. Jeez, like I'm old enough to be your uncle, your dad's younger brother.
Sure, if my parents made a few mistakes along the way, yeah.
But Chandler Bing.
But I mean,
hold on, here we go. There.
Okay. Perfect. I mean, you're not almost double my age.
No,
you're 2/3 of my age older though.
Yeah, that makes me feel old. That's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
But with wisdom, I mean, with age comes wisdom, right? So,
true.
I feel like you have absorbed a lot of the information that I've given out. I've been, there's so many people in this room you can learn from.
Yeah,
and that's the cool thing. And I think what's interesting is that you haven't stuck to one person.
I try not to,
except for Perry.
I mean, that's the one person like you have to stick to that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, obviously it's the master of the culture, right? So,
yeah.
Okay, so let's do like honestly backtrack. Growing up in Allen or Plano, Texas.
Yeah.
Let's go from there.
I mean, I just grew up in Plano, Texas, very well-off family. Not like, yeah, we don't really have to worry about bills. It's well off where it was like, what do you want?
So you grew up in West Plano, not East Plano.
No, I was in Plano, and then in 4th grade, my parents heard, hey, I don't forgot which Plano school it is, but they're like, hey, they were friends with a cop, and a cop was like, we get called there basically every day.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, we're getting out of here. So that was right around the time that they were starting their business too, my parents' furniture business. And so we moved to a district called Lovejoy. And if you're from the Texas area, there's Lovejoy and there's Prosper, and it's kind of like the battle of the rich schools. That's just kind of how it was in high school. So I went to Lovejoy. I was in a very well-off family, never had to worry about anything. For my, how people get senior gifts when they graduate high school.
Mm-hmm.
My family, we got senior trips. So my senior trip was our entire family and one of my best friends going to Italy for a week, 10 days.
Terrible.
Terrible?
Sounds hideous. I'm being facetious.
Oh, I was about to say, so like I come in to everything very almost self-conscious of the fact that I've had everything better than everyone. So I feel like I have to prove that I'm not just handed shit all the time.
Well, not better than everybody. You're just high middle class.
No,
I mean, like
it was.
Let's say this. Okay, like, what's the income level for your parents? Under 10 million? Give or take. I mean, you don't know.
Give or take. My guess is at the peak, at their prime, it was probably close at what they were taking home at the
That's
end.
fair.
That I just remember, if there's the 1%, they were almost to the 1% of the 1%.
So like in Richardson, you were you would been like the higher up, but in Lovejoy, you guys were like kind of
no. In Lovejoy, we were
big dick swinging.
Yeah,
cool.
Like, and I mean, I say we. I didn't do anything. It was my parents' money.
So, but let me ask you: does that hurt you or help you here?
That's a great question. I mean, I feel other events in my life led to what helped me here, but originally growing up in a super wealthy family, I actually feel like in a lot of ways it hurted me because I felt like I didn't have to.
What was that?
It hurt me.
There you go. You're a smart man.
I'm a management major. It's just common sense. I had nothing English wise. But I mean, the thing is like growing up, when I didn't really have to earn or do anything on my own, when I finally went to go and do something on my own, if I ever had to, I didn't have that grit, the determination, the work ethic. So growing up, I think it hurt me. But as things happened over the past couple of years, I kind of found it on my own to go and do something on my own. So
where'd you go to high school?
I went to Lovejoy High School. It's like a small school. It's still 5A right next to Allen. But I always just say I'm from Allen because everybody's like, oh, Allen High School. I know where that is. So
hold on 1 second. Did you close that deal? All right. So that was a no. Anyways. All right. No. So nobody wants to hear your excuses, Justice. Anywho, so where'd you go for that? Because you and I talked a little bit about your go after you graduated and kind of where you went.
Yeah.
So, because you're real, right? Because all of the, and I'm just going to call it out, all of the white privilege is what it is, right? You being affluent, right? And that's not a negative thing because your parents did well. Like they earned that shit.
They did.
Like, welcome to America.
Both of them came from military families where they were both military brats. So like, I mean, I shouldn't feel ashamed to say like, yeah, they became millionaires. Like, isn't that what everybody wants to do?
Right.
Exactly.
And I'll vouch for anybody questioning you that your character does not portray you being a rich white yuppie kid wearing Abercrombie shorts and sandals.
Well, I hope not. I mean, but the thing is, like, there was a point in my life though where I probably could have fit that description. And
I mean, I've seen the picture from prom with the pink tie and the hair. I mean,
the Justin Bieber hair.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I think that's when I peaked.
Just so you know, that's going on the thumbnail.
Oh God. It's like a 22-year-old kid that looks 12.
I've already started it. You're good. Don't even worry.
You found that picture?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I mean, yeah. So after high school, I only applied to 2 schools because I personally don't believe in college. I think it's a massive scam.
100% agree.
I mean, my parents' thing always was I almost dropped out of school multiple times. I was put on academic probation once because I never showed up to class. I hated college. I hate school.
And you're not, by the way, just so everybody knows, he's not a pothead and doesn't drink.
No, I think I've had like a total of 3 sips of alcohol in my life. I've never touched any drug before or anything like that.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Except for caffeine.
I've never had caffeine before.
You're lying. I've seen you drink coffee here.
I don't drink coffee.
You're shitting me.
No, I'm not kidding.
Jesus Christ.
I drink water.
Did you walk on it as well?
No, yeah, no, I don't drink caffeine. I mean, there are sometimes my mom gets an iced tea from at like a dinner restaurant, and obviously that's not decaf, and I do have a sip of that every so often. So I'm not totally caffeine free.
So do you and your mom go on dates? Like dinner dates?
No, I mean it's gonna slow down now that I'm moving out and getting my own place. But
first ever apartment on your own.
Yes.
Hold on, that deserves this.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited about it. I figured I needed to because I mean, there's just certain times. Most people, the way that I think about it is, most people, I would guess in America, get kicked out at 18. That'd be my guess. Is most people once they get to 18, it's hey, it's time for you to figure it out. If you're not going to go to college, you need to go get a job, and then you're moving out shortly after. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I was lucky enough to where right after college, I got to live with my mom for like 3 months and enough to save up a little bit of money to go get an apartment.
And you're now straight commission instead of as earned, right?
Correct. So that was a mistake that I made.
Yeah, but that quarterly check's gonna be nice next month, homeboy.
Maybe. Well,
yeah, it should be okay. I mean, dude, you've issued like 60K at least as earned.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be all right.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll see. My standards are really high for myself. But after high school, I only applied to 2 colleges because I didn't want to go to school. I just, growing up in the area that I did, it's you go to college. Exactly. Yep. So I applied to Ohio State University and the University of Oklahoma. I was a diehard Ohio State fan. I don't care about the Sooners whatsoever still. But if I need to pull that card, I will. Oh, Boomer Sooner. Who cares? So I only got accepted into OU because everybody does. No offense to anybody that went to OU.
Derek Berry.
Yeah, I mean, it's like an 88% acceptance rate. Are we really going to be like, oh, I got into OU? Okay, cool. So does everyone.
Fired.
So does everyone in Oklahoma. And I think we all understand what Oklahoma is.
Them Oklahoma boys roll their joints all wrong. Way too skinny. Too damn long.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I played that song for you the other day, Cross Canadian Rugby.
And one ear out the other. Right. So
college.
I did finish. I graduated like 3-4 months ago with a degree in management. Woohoo.
4 months ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. So, I mean, for 2.5 years, I was a finance major. And then halfway through, I was like, this sucks. Like crunching numbers and doing all this stuff. This sucks. What's a better major? And then my advisor, who actually is probably the only the reason I stayed in college, because one day he was like, you seem miserable. Your grades are suffering. Like, what do you want to do? I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to do finance. I don't want to sit behind a desk and crunch numbers. And he was like, have you ever thought about the business of people? And I was like, well, I'm an introvert. Like I'm an introvert. That's just what I am. I'm an introvert. If I could live my beautiful day, I would sit in a room, not talk to anybody, not see anybody.
In my experience, and this is where my age comes into play, I have seen salesmen who are naturally introverts be more successful than a majority of extroverts like myself. For whatever that's worth.
I mean, it's kind of working so far, but it's just like I'm naturally an introvert, so I'm not the college person who went out and partied. Like I think I was in college for 4 years in total. I made like 5 friends.
Keep hitting your thumb on that desk. I'm gonna cut it off.
Okay, sorry. So I think I was there for 4 years. I in total made like 5 friends and got a girlfriend out of it. So whatever. But but I wasn't the one that was like going to parties like, hey guys, when are we hanging out? Like I'm sitting in my room and this is why I'm happy because I don't want to talk to anybody. So that was my college experience. And then after college, I came here. So
how'd you find the den?
Funny story. So I dating a girl named Olivia, and she at the time was a lot more ambitious than me. And obviously, just like anybody, they want to make sure they're dating somebody that has aspirations, is driven, and eventually might be able to take care of them.
Match the energy.
Match the energy. Correct. So, I mean, yeah, she's getting her master's and everything. So I'm down.
Masters in what?
Speech language pathology.
Where's okay? So you brought her up. Okay, so just
yeah. So she graduated
in speech pathology.
Yeah. So she graduated from tech with 2 degrees, like 4.0. Yeah, Raider Rash, woohoo!
Guns up, baby. Oh, man.
She does not have that, but I'm just saying. And then now she ends up.
Doesn't watch this and see
she
just tarnishing your name.
She probably won't. And then
shots fired at the podcast and at you.
I mean, fair. Okay, I'm probably gonna have to backtrack that statement after she watches. Yeah. I'm gonna have to send an apology text. And then she went to Waco after, which I told her before. How did we go from Lubbock to Waco? Every time I come to visit you, I'm going to a place where I'm like, I don't want to go here.
There's nothing to see here.
Yeah,
they don't even have a tourism.
One of the times when I was in Lubbock, we were driving back to my buddy's house, and they blocked off the whole street. There were K9 units and literally dudes walking around with AKs because there was some criminal on the loose. I'm like, welcome to Lubbock. This is great. And she's like, Lubbock's not that bad. I'm like, I haven't seen a gun my entire life. What the hell are you talking about?
Lubbock's a great place.
Sure.
Don't tarnish it. My aunt was the dean of nursing at Texas Tech for 27 years. Don't you sound like other people here? Sure.
It's V and Jason. That's right. Sure.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Sure, Lubbock's a great place. So is New York City. If you live in the $1 million penthouse 500 feet above,
I disagree with that.
All the other crap.
Have you been in New York City?
Yes, I have.
How many
times? I threw up in a limo there one time.
Okay, so you threw up in a limousine in New York City.
Yeah, I was like 12. My parents like, this will be great. Let's take him to New York.
Okay, so arguably you haven't been to New York as an adult then?
I haven't. Actually, one time, if my girlfriend watches this,
she will.
I hope she does.
She will.
I actually saved up enough money one time to where I was going to take her to New York over the Christmas holiday because I'm a hopeless romantic. I know this. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to take her to New York during Christmas time, whole 9 yards.
Rockefeller Center with the tree.
Yeah. 3 months before that trip, she broke up with me.
So, shots fired.
So no, I have not been.
I used to have a womp, womp, womp.
So I have not been back to New York as an adult, but yeah. So one day I was visiting her. I'm chilling. She's working on homework. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm just chilling. I'm just playing a phone game. Like, I'm just chilling on my phone. And she's like, no, you're going to hop up on Indeed and apply to 3 places. I was like, huh? And she was like, yeah, you're not going to play that game anymore until you hop on Indeed and apply to 3 places. And this just happened to
Hell yeah, Olivia.
Yeah. And
get it, girl.
And she wears the pants.
Apparently.
Yeah, no, she does. So I can't do anything about it. Once you pass them over, it's very hard to get them back.
Okay.
So
that's probably why I'm single. Anyways.
Well, I've learned lots of times it's just easier. I am wrong. You were right. I am sorry. Happy wife, happy life. Even though she's just my girlfriend, it still applies. So this is one of the places that I applied to. I got a call one day from somebody recruiting me here, and I came in here and Perry sat me down and I told him, I was like, I'm 22. I'm not like every other 22-year-old. My goal is to be a millionaire by 30. If I can make it happen sooner, that'd be great. But I want to try to be somewhat realistic. I'm going to aim for 30. And he was like, awesome. So here's my idea for you. This company, after 4 years, you get lifetime residuals. I want you to come here. I want you to make a ton of money. And then I want you to go do what you want to do. And I was like, I've been to a bunch of interviews. I've had a bunch of people ask me how I'm going to be great for their company, how I'm going to like fit their mold and like all this stupid crap. And this dude is telling me, I want you to come here for 4 years. I want you to make a ton of money. And then I want you to go do what you want to do, chase your dreams. And I was like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. And it took some convincing. My mom wasn't very happy when I was like, yeah, I'm going into a 100% commission job. She was like, right out of college. Like,
what's your mom's name?
Sally.
I want to meet Sally Weeks.
Sally Weeks is a great mom. But she had her concerns going into this job. She knows I don't talk to anybody. She knows it's not a lot of networking. My circle of influence, they're all young. Nobody's paying for their health insurance. So I mean, it was a gamble, but I mean, I'm glad I took it. And I'm glad I met Perry in the den.
Dude, but it's amazing is that everything you just said, right? My circle of influence is this. People I know do this, yada yada yada. You're on a path here that not very many people arguably have been on. I mean, there's two people in this room that have done what you've done right now, and it makes you the third. And there's a couple of people on that wall, and then you're up here, and you're doing things that now you get to. I'm sure that Miss Sally is happy about.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, she's happy as soon as she realizes I can move out of the house and afford it.
Is she really going to be happy about that though?
I don't know. I mean, now that she has no kids in the house, we'll see. But I mean, here's the thing. At the end of the day, I hope this doesn't get taken the wrong way, but she's a grown woman. And at the end of the day,
no.
Yeah, she's a grown woman, and she understands this is how life goes. And even if she is sad about it, I mean, she's 54. She can take care of herself. She'll be okay.
And it's not like just because you're moving out of the house means you're moving out of the country.
Correct. However, if she wants to see me, she's coming to Fort Worth this time because I'm not driving back to Dallas for a while.
Well,
I've made that trip too many times.
See, that's where my family lives out there. It's tough. It's it is a trek.
Yeah.
It's I mean,
I drive 126 miles a day for 3 months straight.
Do it from a time standpoint, right? So what is that? An hour drive here and there?
Oh no, I calculated it the other day. And this is what was like the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what you old folks say. Okay. So I'm
just cutting your mic off now.
So I did the calculations. On average, it takes me an hour to get here in the morning. The only reason it takes me an hour is because I leave the house by 6:30 a.m. So I beat all the 9-to-5ers. And then in the afternoon, it doesn't matter if I leave at 5:30, 6, 7, 8. It takes me an hour and a half to get home. There's always traffic because I take the non-toll route and go right through the heart of Dallas. So it takes me an hour and a half every day.
Take 30 to 75.
Yes. Yeah.
That's rough.
Well, it's either that or I pay $10 to get home 20 minutes earlier.
Yeah. I mean, it's a hell of a view though, coming in like third. That's my favorite view. Once you pass Loop 12 on 30, it's the best view of Dallas.
I mean, the thing is I did the calculations actually the other day, and I have spent an entire week of time in my car in the past 3 months trying to make this happen. And I thought, okay, if I'm doing what I'm doing now, and literally an entire week of my time during working hours has been taken up driving, just wait till I get that week back. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you see it that way because allows you to you're just an efficient person. I see that. I feel like you are, except for when you do your mom doesn't do laundry. So this is the New Agent Podcast for a reason, right? You're a new agent in this business. What are some of the things that you've learned, maybe professionally as well as personally, in the past couple of months since you've been here?
Personally, definitely just like growing up. Like if I worked somewhere else, I probably wouldn't be moving out this early. I probably wouldn't be making these leaps of I'm going to do this. Like I'm going to fly the coop or whatever it may be, fly the nest. But professionally, realizing that you are 22 years old and you're surrounded by a bunch of older people that have a ton of experience and are lifelong entrepreneurs. Like to me, that was invaluable. I knew that I could go somewhere and they could tell me what to do all day, or I could go somewhere and be surrounded by people that literally have been an entrepreneur their entire life. Perry, Stoner. Have you been an entrepreneur your entire life? For a majority of the past 10 years.
I've had one corporate job my entire life.
Yeah. So I chose a place where, because at the end of the day, once again, not being a believer in school, thinking school is a total scam, I always believed the main thing was mentorship. That is going to teach me way more than any book, anything ever will. So when I found this place, I'm like, there's an entrepreneur, there's an entrepreneur, there's an entrepreneur. Everybody's an entrepreneur. I was like, okay, this is where I need to be. And it's just every day it's learning something new. Every day I can go up to somebody new and learn something from them. Like recently, the past couple of days, I've been going to Andy. I've been here for 3 months. I've maybe had a conversation or two with Andy in the past couple of days. I've just been going to Andy and I'm learning so many new things. I'm like, God dang it, why didn't I ask sooner? So
he is one intelligent, charismatic, he's a good dude.
Yeah, Andy's a beast.
Him and I, when I first started here for the first 3 or 4 months, I was attached to his hip. Well, him and Jamie,
Mhm.
and him and I would talk every night, and we would always do different conversations back and forth about psychological behavior and behavior analysis as it is in sales.
Yep.
That to me is huge, right? It's how you understand this.
Yeah.
But it's maneuvering the conversation through speech and through understanding the response that somebody's going to innately have because they're human beings.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Andy knows a lot about that. So do you, Justice? What do I do? Behavior analysis. Yes.
Like I said, I don't believe in school.
Have a good night, guys.
But I mean, yeah, it's just what I love about this place so much when it comes to growing 100%. When it comes to it, weird part is my girlfriend actually knows her because she rushed my girlfriend. That was a weird connection we made on the boat one time.
I had my girl I dated in high school and then went to tech she graduated from tech, but we dated for 6 years up until her last year in tech. Yeah. Anyways, I know a lot about Texas Tech. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah. Here, 10.
Yeah.
Squirrels.
Yeah. What were we even talking about?
Yeah. We were talking about.
Yeah. So the great thing is what I love about this place so much is I can go up to anybody, ask them any question. And it's not like in sales, it's this weird dynamic where we're not competing against each other, but we're also competing against each other. Mm-hmm. Every time you get a sale, that's one person that I could have potentially signed up. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, there's millions of people in this country. To think that your success is taking away from mine is just a victim mentality.
100%.
So the thing that I've loved about this place is I can go up to anybody and they're an open book. Here's what I do. Like, here's my text. This is what I do. This is exactly what I say. Like, take it, like, go learn, do it. And I think that's very hard to find. Like, people that are just so willing to be like, here's my success, go do it.
Well, and that's the thing you mentioned earlier. It was either go get a 9-to-5 or find a mentor in a sense. Right. And so I've always learned the best from people who show me how to do something. Right. Like, I mean, we're all mostly visual people nowadays.
Yeah.
So I'm very visual. Right. But it also, for me, I grew up, we talked about the line in the sand of the millennial and the gen, whatever it is. Right.
Yeah. And so, you're a millennial.
Whatever. Yeah. By definition.
Correct.
But for me, I grew up with the mindset of, and was taught the mindset of, I'm not going to ask you to do something I'm not willing to do myself, which to me embodies mentorship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so my uncle, you talk about how did I become an entrepreneur? I was in the restaurant business for up until I was 29 when I had Flynn.
Yeah.
Corporate life for 4 years. And then since February 3rd of 2018, I've worked for myself 110%.
Yeah.
But this, like you said, this place allows that. And that's why this is unique.
Yeah.
I don't know where I was going with that.
I totally agree. I mean, I applied to a bunch of places and I'm not going to throw any names out there, but I even took interviews at places.
So did I.
Inside this company.
Yeah.
And I went there. I was like, this is not the same. I was like, this is the same company? Like, yeah, it's the same company, just different branch. Oh, okay. It's way different over there. It's not what I saw here.
All right. So we have passed our 30-minute marker right at it. So this is where I allow you to shamelessly plug yourself. I say that because, yes, while there are millions of people in this world, some people buy from you for a reason, and some people will buy from me.
Sure.
So tell the audience about Provision Health.
I mean, I personally started Provision Health Insurance just because I thought that there's a lot of agents in our office that do things differently than a lot of agents. And I think we take pride in being ethical first. I mean, I've sold policies before that I make little to nothing off of them, but it's what the client asks and it's what they want. And at the end of the day, I believe, just like most people do in this office, I mean, talk about a me plug, it's a den plug. At the end of the day
hold on, I gotta tell you, out of everybody I've had on the show, you're the first person to put it that way. It's a lot of respect. I appreciate that.
I mean, that's the thing. Our office, what we do is if the client asks for something, we don't say, oh no, that's not possible. Let me keep the plan this way where I get a bigger paycheck. It's absolutely, let me build it for you that way. Yeah. Doesn't matter what the paycheck is. I can't tell you how many times I've sold a policy where, it's like, I'm probably not going to make enough off this for whatever it's worth, but it's exactly what the client wants. And the thing is, at the end of the day, I've from the very get go, what Perry installed in me, what everybody in here installed in me is, if you do right by people and you treat them the right way and you customer service them and give them everything that they need and deserve, that's going to pay off in the long run.
Mhm.
And I mean, I already see that happening where I creating referral partnerships with people that I treat them the right way. I give them exactly what they want. They're like, I'm going to send you more people. So yeah, I couldn't sell somebody something and get one quick little paycheck, which by the way, I would suck at that anyways. I have no sales experience. I'm not great at being a salesman. That's not what I'm good at.
Well, I mean, money isn't your motivation. While yes, it's the tool that drives it. It might maybe I'm wrong, but I think your ultimate driver is um, time freedom, right? And it's
Yes.
to live your life not now, but in 10 years,
Yes.
the way you want to live it.
Yeah.
That's why I mean I think I tell everybody this, dude. If you can give up at least 6 months of your life when you start here,
Yeah.
to figure out if you're going to be good at this,
Yeah.
and you do succeed, then
I mean, I earned a free vacation on a trip with some of my best buddies now, and I'm not going because I think I'm too early into the process to take that time.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've been here 3 months.
Oh, you're talking about the
Yeah,
trip here?
Yeah, the trip.
Oh, I'm not going because you
Yeah.
got to be vaccinated. So we're
Well,
going. No, hey, there's an alternate destination that we're going to go to. So
nobody come at me, but I am vaccinated. But
hang up now
Yeah,
in
exactly.
podcast.
But I mean, the thing
No,
is
dude,
like,
it's your choice.
yeah.
It's your choice.
The thing is my goal is to be a millionaire by 30. And it's not a money thing. I don't care about the digits. I just figure I would rather be a slave in my 20s and earn all the money physically possible and build something that will pay me for the rest of my life rather than be the person who's stressing to save for my kids' college fund when I'm in my 30s and late 40s. And like, that's just not my dream. And, even sometimes my girlfriend struggles to see it that way. Sometimes she's like, you're 20, like you're young, like you should be having fun. You should have hobbies outside of work, this and that. And I get all that. But you know what I think is fun? Achieving everything most people don't in a lifetime by the time I'm 30, and then enjoying the rest of my life with my wife and my kids because we have the financial freedom to do so.
Don't let that rob you of your 20s, though. I know you hear that. We've had this conversation.
But here's the thing. Everybody says rob you of your 20s. You should be out going having fun and stuff like that.
I'm not saying that.
But the thing is, I'm naturally an introvert. Fun to me is just doing me.
Fair enough. But
so rob me of what?
But you're 22. You don't know what is out there for you. I mean, and
sure.
I think I would do this, right? Find a good balance between what people are telling you and what you know, and make sure that balance is more lean towards you. Self-awareness is something I've told you, and we've had this conversation, is that I respect about you. You know who you are.
Yeah.
Right. At 22, you do, right? But that's going to change when you're 25 and 30, as you know.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But
I don't know. It always, I guess, just goes way over my head because I'm young and naive when people say, don't let this rob you of your 20s. And I'm like, what am I not doing that I'm supposed to be doing in my 20s? Because from what I see,
traveling, exploring, honestly,
sure, I can definitely spend the money that I'm investing in my business towards traveling. But now that climb is a little bit slower. Now, instead of going like this, I'm going like here. I don't want to do that. The thing is, I would rather get to 30 and have built something to where the rest of my life, it doesn't matter if I want to go to Italy for a month. I can wake up one day and be like, all right, we're going.
It doesn't matter if, you don't have to have money to make that decision.
Sure.
I know.
But the way that I grew up, we weren't backpacking around Italy. I was staying in a
okay. Let's stay here because we're past our time. Okay, so Provision Health, where can they find you? How do you get a hold of Chandler? I'll put the your phone number at the bottom next to you. Right.
Okay. I mean, just simply
this area here.
972-762-8049. That's my personal number. Just shoot me a text or give me a call. That's
right on. I appreciate your time tonight, brother.
I
always
appreciate you
do.
having me on the 1-year anniversary. That's pretty special.
Okay,
And
so
I've
let's-
been begging for 13 weeks to get on this too. So
well, it's funny. I mentioned earlier that I've been kind of toying with what do I want to do? Do I want to do? And no, I don't want to do something big. It's 1 year. Like
you should have at least had balloons or something.
1 year.
Take,
though, like
take
1 year.
Jamie's balloons and
Like where I am now versus where I started. I'm extremely grateful for.
you should be.
Thank you. Well, thank you. That's the right way to put that. You're right.
I mean, you're smoking me every week.
not really. Well,
What do you got
this week, no. But I'm thankful that you do drive me because I don't like being beat, right?
I don't either. I low key in the back of my head, and you can ask Stoner because when I sit next to Stoner, if I turn and look at the board, I'm like, Nick's beating me.
That's why
I'm like,
move around.
I'm like,
that's why. Well, I had to turn and so I know I don't need to turn the DIN notifications off, but I turned back on because I'm like, all right, got to get back into this. But no, I mean, dude, it's healthy competition, man. I mean,
yeah, it is.
For like, honestly, I need to get out of the I love seeing the success in here because toot my own horn. I like having my name up there on the top row.
Absolutely.
Like I've done something, and so I feel like what I've done helps you guys, but I got to continue giving. So anyways, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Chandler Weeks.
I appreciate you.
We'll do it again.
Absolutely.
Year anniversary episode as of today, the 18th of August. Is that
yes, this is 18th of August. So 6 days after your year.
Thank you. I do appreciate your time.
Yesterday was my 3-month anniversary of being here. So wow.
That's impressive though. For whatever it's worth, guys, we have metrics or we have milestones, right? That we would like to accomplish in set periods of time. And
yep.
I would say that when I first started, I hit mine week 9 is when I hit my 100K.
Mm-hmm.
And then I finished out at 152. I don't remember very many people after that doing it. Deskin's hit his 100, but it's really cool to see you going above and showing everybody in here that you're a grinder. Like you do more shit than I do.
I've been driving 126 miles a day. I have never showed up late and I've never left early.
Dude, what's
not
funny?
1 day.
The other day.
But I will say I'm not going to be in the office tomorrow.
Why not?
It's special circumstances.
Do what you gotta do.
I know, but yeah.
You have somebody taking you out to drink you off.
Well, Harry is taking me to dinner as a celebration of hitting my 100K.
As you should.
Yeah. So
actually, I hope David Stoner hears this because me hitting 100K in a week, David Stoner owes me a dinner at Del Frisco's that he's never owned up on.
Really?
Yeah, and we're looking at 9 months afterwards.
Wow.
He still hasn't owned up on it.
So. I mean, that's the same guy who, hey, if you ever need anything, just give me a call. Anytime I give him a call, nothing. Every time. But Stoner, if you watch this, the words are great. It's great when the actions don't back it up.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Y'all have a blessed evening. Thank you, Mr. Weeks.
Absolutely.
Chandler Bing. Have a good night. Cheers.